Okay, welcome to the Sunday vlog. Hopefully everything's actually recording. We've got the cameras set up everywhere around here. So, Sunday session today, I'll start my I've got a little Chinese tea party here. When I travelled up to Sydney last year, the museum art gallery that I was going to, I filmed the art gallery I went around, but they had a little tea room and they had little Chinese pots and stuff. So instead of sitting here drinking Coke, we shall attempt to not spill this everywhere, and we shall have green tea and dumplings. Although I'll probably just eat the dumplings when you're not watching. A couple of things to chat about. Well, actually, really just one. Being an individual. I'm going to use my phone today, so apologies for notes, but when we can get past all these adverts on this vlog spot of Robin Wong's. Robin Wong, you will know him. He's from Malaysia. Let's Do This, you'll know that term. He's a great photographer. He branched out from Olympus now and he's doing a lot more. And you have to excuse the background noise here, we've got kids next door. Authenticity, I call it individuality. I was thinking of making an individuality one for a few weeks, and then he came up on Facebook with this blog post. And all week I thought it really marries up to what I want to talk about on Sunday. So I read a few things. We are all different human beings and we should celebrate the difference. What makes us unique can be the core strength in our arts and will contribute to the authenticity of your images. This goes into a lot of depth, and I will put the link in the description. Your photography work should be a reflection of who you are as a person, whether you like it or not. Part of yourself will be imprinted in your work, intentional or not. Art is a very human thing. It has a soul, and a huge contributing factor to that is the human artist behind the work. Therefore, consider yourself as part of your photography workflow and creation process. You'll be surprised by how powerful original ideas can be. One of the big problems I have with Instagram, that's why I basically cut myself off a lot from Instagram at Christmas time, is everybody had to be everybody. And if you were a Sony photographer using one of those $10,000 Zeiss lenses and Sony cameras, you wanted me to not only buy your camera gear for 10 grand, but you also were telling your viewers to go and buy your preset so that when you take a photo you can have a preset. So, in other words, you wanted me to be like you. I'm not aiming that at any one individual. I'm talking about people with 100,000 to 500,000 followers that are spread out on Instagram. Now, here's the thing here about Instagram. If I can find it. We don't have to agree on everything and just follow blindly what the influencers or celebrity photographers are telling us. And this is exactly what I thought at Christmas time. I find the best parts about photography is the freedom to creatively express ourselves. Why let others tell us and dictate the outcome of what we aim to photograph? Now, he does have in here somewhere about cinematic and instamatic. And I buy cameras every month. It annoys my wife no end. We may get some rain out here in a minute. That's very strong green tea. Okay, now I'm going to be healthy. I've tried to stop using RAW. So as part of the process of not using RAW in my photos, I'm only using JPEG. Every camera has a different way, like a different recipe you can do for your JPEGs. Now, if I want an instamatic look, this is one of the things that Robin said. Everybody on Instagram is trying to get a cinematic or an instant film look. If I want an instant film look, now I've got these cameras back a fair way. This is the Instax Wide Evo, 16 megapixels, takes, guess what, instant film looking photos. And it's a little bit expensive, that one. This one's a quarter of the price, and I take this one in the city all the time. The Instax Mini Evo. Once again, if you want an instant film look, don't buy a preset, buy the camera. I've just spent a bit of money on this thing. This is the Sony, I haven't got glasses, SR45. It's a handy cam from 16 or so years ago. We've had it since it was brand new. I just replaced the battery on it because the battery was giving me 20 minutes life, and I've got 2 new batteries on it, so now I can do 3 hours of filming with this camera. And the Sony Handycam look is trending at the moment. And I think it looks cool. I mean, this is digital. This is not a tape camera. This is a digital Handycam. But it's... How about we attempt to take some footage and we'll put it on the... I'll take some footage. Bear with me while I learn how to turn this thing back on. Here we go. So, I'll quickly scan over my table for you. Right, so this should be coming up while I'm talking. And ignore that white. That's actually something I got from a photo walk, a surprise. Alright. While I'm talking, let's use this camera for a bit. We'll put a link down below of I've forgotten his name now. Big Bird or somebody like that. He's using HP Ilford. That's the film I am actually using. I was talking to him about film the other day. That will be the film I'll be using next week. I'm shooting some film during the week. Alright, we'll go back to the main camera. There's a Pentax user, Lee I think his name is. I've followed him for years, but my brain's not working today. And it's 4 degrees outside, and I thought I'd come outside because it was sunny. And we got storms coming now. I live on the western plains of Victoria, so get used to the rain. Kind of misses us most of the time, we just get the storms. This is a GF1. Lumix 13, 14 years ago. CCD sensor. This one is from 2005. I have owned it since Friday, so literally it's new to me. 20 years old. Nikon or Nikon. There's a thing that I can't work out. A lot of Americans call it Nikon. I know a lot of people in Australia and England call it Nikon. I don't have any Japanese followers, but what do you pronounce this? D50. It's CCD, and even more important, I'll show you this camera for a second. This camera has a viewfinder. Okay, most do. It has a screen on the back to read your menus and to preview photos you've taken, not a live view screen. So the best thing about it, 2 good things about it. CCD consumes, if I got this right, consumes more power, but gives you greater depth, gets into your shadows more. Dynamic range, there you go. Gets you better dynamic range and a very unique look that almost looks like instant film, straight out of camera. I have a video up which I'll put up in the placard above me at the moment, and I'll put it down below because TV viewers can't look at placards. So this camera, it weighs a lot until you take the lens off. It's got a 28 to 80mm lens on it. Can't shoot video. Can't do live shots on the back. You shoot this very much like a film camera. You look for the viewfinder, you compose your images with the viewfinder, and forget about video. There's no such thing as video in 2005 on cameras. You brought Handycams. I haven't brought a spare battery for that yet, but I might have to. So the aim at the moment for me is to, and this aim has been going for 6 months now, is to progress away from the need to use raw files. So I cancelled Lightroom. I've saved myself a fortune not having Lightroom and Photoshop anymore. I have DxO Photo Lab 8, which I brought a copy of that. You know, that's a one-off purchase, not a subscription every month. So I want to just develop in each camera a style that I like. I like monochrome. I don't like monochrome too much at night. It gets a little bit... It's really cool for downlights and security lights on walls and moody blues. So there is a real good use for monochrome at night. But shooting the general street photography on it can get a bit hard to do with monochrome, and it's very hard to figure out the light. So I use color JPEG a lot at night. And this is not anywhere near the extent of my cameras. There's 40 cameras sitting in the cupboard there. I want to expand on the videography, as my softbox is trying to blow over there. We're keeping this real here, people. We're outside. It's about to start raining. We've got a storm coming. We've got kids next door playing football. I'm testing out the DJI mini mic for the first time, and I'm God knows how far into the video, but anyway, hop on board. Stay tuned. Right. So the aim each Sunday is to do a Sunday session. This one has been about authenticity. Now with videography, it's very easy, and I'm seeing it a lot. You know, when the Pocket 1 came out, everybody had to have the Pocket 1. And Pocket 2 came out, everybody had their Pocket 2. Pocket 3. The Pocket 4's coming soon, so you watch how many people go from Pocket 3 to Pocket 4. Google Pixel phone is still the best way to vlog, I think. Walking and talking, this or the DJI Pockets, I've got DJI Pocket 2, work for me. I'm not running, I'm not on a bike, I'm not doing any exercise, I'm not in the rain, so I don't need a action camera, not yet anyway. For this Vespa back here, she needs an action camera, and I'm looking at the version 6 is in the rumour mill, so, you know, why rush out and buy an Osmo 5 when there's a 6 on the cards, you know. It's like Christmas time, in other words. I'm going to leave it there. I've got dumpling seat. It's nice and cold out here, but the most important thing is stay safe. Stay authentic, as Robin says. Robin will probably have a video up soon. He always puts his blog posts out first, and then his video tends to follow his blog. And if it's already up, I'll chuck it in the description. If it comes up later, I'll put it in the comments. But stay original. Have a think about that. You know, it's not something that I'm saying. It's something that some of these people with, you know, 1 million followers are starting to say, or 100,000 followers are starting to say. Stay original. Don't copy everybody else. Develop your style. There's another video I'll make during the week by Alan Scower. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's an Englishman who acts a bit like he's from the goodies. His latest video that he had on this week was don't go to photography school. And I nearly went to photography school this year, and I completely relate to his video. And his is also, he was the second video I watched this week about keep it authentic. Develop a style that is yourself, and you don't know what that is. I've been shooting photos for 40 years, and I still don't know what my style is. I reckon I've got about 5 of them, you know. But I like dystopian, I like moody photos. And then Chris Meets Chris did another one this week too, which is keeping it real. And he started off with a really good wide open composure at the start of his video. I really like that. So I may have been working on this for 5 days, but in 5 days I found a few videos which I'll put down there. Anyway, enough rambling. Good night, because it is almost night. Have fun. Stay safe. Talk to people. And until I see you next time, ciao people.